Hello. Welcome to Birdsnest Designs. My name is Denise Cox and I am so excited to be here on this Thursday evening. It is Thursday, January 15th, and I am here to share a really cool fun fold with you. So this one looks tricky, but it is super easy, and I'm going to give you the measurements and we're going to walk it through together on our video tonight. So say hello when you get here. I love to know who I'm here stamping with. I'm just going to give you a few minutes to pop in, say hello. Don't forget, comment through the video because I love to know that you guys are here still and watching along. I'm just going to do some adjustments here on the screen so I can see the chat nice and clear. Okay. Hello, Alexina. Long time no see. How are you? So tonight, as I mentioned, we're going to make an Accordion Z Fold. This one I think is just super clever and it is so fun to make. And I've got 3 different versions to share with you. We're going to make 2 of them. One I'm just going to show you and give you guys some ideas. Hi, Sonia. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Whew. It is, I don't know what it's like where you guys are, but here it has been really quite warm for the last couple days. By warm, I mean around 0 degrees, but I am in northern Saskatchewan, so that is fairly warm. But then all of a sudden today, this nasty windstorm came in and it was blowing snow and the roads were icy, and now it's minus 14, and it just happened in the blink of an eye. So I don't know what it's like where you guys are, but definitely a little bit wintry here today. So all I could think was, oh, please don't let my internet be interfered by this crazy windstorm. And so far, so good. All right. So we're going to turn the camera down. As I said, please keep the comments coming. Every 3rd Thursday of the month is going to be Fun Fold night. So if you guys like Fun Folds, make sure to tune in then. But I am live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So here in Saskatchewan, we don't change our clocks. So it is always Central Standard Time where I am. So hello, Penny from Saskatoon. Yes, I heard it was windy everywhere. So yeah, crazy, crazy. But hopefully in the morning, it's not so bad. Let's hope. Okay, so as I was saying, every 3rd Thursday, I'm live here doing Fun Fold. Every Thursday, I'm live to share something with you guys. So far, we've got the 1st Thursday is Technique Night, the 2nd Thursday is Sketch Night, the 3rd is Fun Fold, and the 4th is still up for review. I haven't quite decided yet. I'm contemplating throwing in a little bit of scrapbooking in the mix because I do love to scrapbook as well, but I am very open to ideas, so leave me a comment and let me know what you'd like to see on those 4th Thursdays of the month. All right, let's get to going here. I'm going to flip the camera down to my desk view. I've got everything nicely set up finally. I've been working on my room, trying to get everything organized. I am a very organized crafter. I don't like things to be out of place. I like everything in its place, and I like things to look neat and tidy. So finally, I'm getting there again. All right, so here is the cards we're going to make, but I'm just going to show you this one. This one is not one we're going to make tonight, but I want to show you it as an example. So this is the cute little Easter bunny. It's current. It came out in the new Stampin' Up catalog, but how adorable is this fold? And those little bunnies, I could not resist. I was looking through my stamp sets I have, and I'm really lacking in seasonal ones, aside from Christmas, of course. So I decided this was a really good one to add to my collection because it's so sweet. And then these little Easter eggs here are fussy cut from this background paper. And again, so cute. I just love it. Hello, Maria. Hi, Galinda. All right, so that's the kind of card we're going to make tonight. Again, it's called a Accordion Z Fold. We're going to make 2 styles. One is going to be using current, mostly current, some of it's still going to be retired, Stampin' Up. So we're going to use this new Cute as a Bug. So if you want this, the paper is still available on the online store. And then we're going to make a version using one of my all-time favorite papers. And I have to be careful because I'm slowly running out. We're going to use the Latte Love Designer Series paper to make the 2nd version. Now, the stamp sets we're using for both are retired. We're going to be using Branching Out as sentiments for the Cute as a Bug. Now, I bought the designer paper, but I did not buy the bundle. I figured I could cut the guys out because I love to fussy cut, and I can pair it with sentiments I already have in my stash. So that's what I'm doing. We're going to use Branching Out sentiments with Cute as a Bug. And then, of course, we're going to pull in the Latte Love to go along with the a little Latte designer paper here. Hi, Jennifer. Okay, so let's start with the cute as a bug. That was kind of what I had in mind, so let's go with that one. And as I said, I'll give you guys the measurements as you go along, but remember on Sundays, my posts go live on my blog. The blog website is right there on the bottom of the screen. You head over there on Sunday and you'll have all the things you need. There'll be pictures and measurements and replays and all the things. So every Sunday they are there. All right. I have water because it's really dry in here. I had my heat on. So I'm just going to take a sip of that. All right, so we're going to start with a card base. Now this is not a normal size card base. It's 5.5 by 11. So if you're using letter size paper, you are only going to get one out of your paper. Now if you have 12 by 12 cardstock, that's going to be the best bang for your buck because you'll be able to get 2 of these out of that. So just a little tidbit there. After you've got it cut 5.5 by 11, you're going to go ahead and you're going to score it at 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and then 7. Okay, so you're going to end up with 4 score lines. And then when you go to fold it, you're going to fold it. This is how I'm doing. I'm going to start at the very last fold here. Make sure to have a bone folder. I did have one here on my desk. There we go. Okay. So make sure you have your bone folder. You're going to want to make sure these are nice and burnished, okay? So fold it there, then you're going to fold back. We're just going to do like exactly what the fold's called. We're going to make an accordion fold. And then we're going to go forward again. And then lastly, we're going to put that one back. Okay, so it's very important that you make sure those folds are nice and crisp so that you have this beautiful accordion fold. Now we are using Poppy Parade paper. So you can use, oh, there's my notes. There we go. We're using Poppy Parade paper for this one. It coordinates beautifully with the designer paper, but whatever color you're using that's up to you. So then we're going to pull in another piece of the same color cardstock, and this one is 3 inches by 6 inches, and it's just scored in half at 3. So we're going to fold that again, and you're going to want to burnish that as well. Make sure that fold is nice and crisp. Okay, so now that we have all of these pieces, the next thing you're going to want to do is get some designer paper. Here we go. No, actually, let's start in the back. Let's start at the back part here. We're going to fill in the inside of the card first. So you're going to want another piece of cardstock. I'm using soft sea foam here, and this is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So when this card is all folded up, it will still fit in an envelope, okay? Just a regular standard medium-sized Stampin' Up envelope. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere my soft sea foam to the back. Let me know what you guys think of the lighting. I did add an extra light into the loop here today to try and make it nice and bright. My room is very dark normally, so let me know sound and volume, or sound and lighting, if it looks good on your end. Okay, so that's our soft sea foam. And then this piece here is 3.5 by 5. But we're not going to glue that in quite yet because I do want to decorate it, and it's easier to decorate before we adhere. So that can just go back there. All right, next we're going to take some designer series paper strips. The other way that you could do this, you could add in cardstock that's embossed. You could stamp it. You could just leave it plain, but I'm going to use designer series paper on here. And this is also from the Cute as a Bug. I just love this little check pattern. And on the back are some fun little mushrooms. So you could use those too if you wanted, but I'm going to use this one because I love the way it all turned out. So when your card is opened like this, we're going to put a strip of DSP on all 4 of these panels. So I do love these mushrooms too, so it's very hard for me to add this adhesive to the mushrooms, but we're going to do it. Wonderful. Thank you, Glenda, for letting me know. So I can always adjust the lighting if I need to, but one piece there, and then we'll put one piece here. So you want to try and make sure that you're lining up your designer paper to make sure that it is even across the top and bottom as best you can. I'm not certainly going to get out my ruler, but you could if you wanted to. I'm just eyeballing to make sure that they are staying in line with one another. Okay, and last one here. So again, these I don't know if I told you that, but these designer series paper strips are 1.5 by 5 1/4. So you need 4 of those. Okay. You could keep it as designer paper, but you could rotate the patterns and just have them coordinating. However you want to design it. There's no mistakes in crafting, no right way, no wrong way. It's just all interpretation and how you do it to bring joy to your day. So this is how I'm choosing to do it. There's our designer paper here. Thanks, Paula. All right, now we're going to take our other little mini card. We're going to call this one. Okay, so this was 3 by 6 scored in half, so now it's 3 by 3. This is going to sit like this. So the opening is going to go and close on those accordions. So this part is actually the front. We want the hinge on the right hand side. Then I'm going to take some squares of cardstock. So these are just basic white and they're 2 3/4 square. And then we've got designer series paper again from Cute as a Bug. You guys, this paper is so adorable. These little daisies, and we're going to attach that onto the square. So these ones are 2.5 square. So let's go ahead. Oh my gosh, look at those cute little bugs. They are so fun. At first I was like, I don't know, they're cute, but I don't know if I need to have them. But then I decided I did need to have the paper because, oh my gosh, it's so cute. And you can do a lot, as you'll see, with just the paper if you don't want to have the bundle. All right, so this can go on to here. Oh goodness, let's get this straight. Okay, so there's our cute little squares. Now we can go ahead and attach them. Sorry, I thought for a second I was like, oh, I missed a step, but no, I didn't. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put these on here. Hi, Gail, nice to see you. Glenda loves the whole suite. Yes, it is really cute. It is definitely really cute. Okay. Now this one can go on here. Okay, so there's our little mini card decorated up. Now what I want to do is I'm going to grab some soft sea foam, and did I bring? Hold on a sec, I got to grab some soft sea foam from my stash over here. I keep all my colors kind of like all my green. That's not, I don't know what that is. That should not be in there. See, I don't have a piece big enough, so we're gonna have to grab another big piece of soft sea foam. See where I have some. I thought I was being so organized today. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna grab a whole sheet because we're gonna use it anyway, eventually, not tonight. Okay, you're gonna want a 2-inch or so punch, circle punch. You could also, if you don't have a circle punch, we could just cut squares or whatever, but you're gonna want to cut 2 of these, 2 circles. Okay. So we're going to use these circles, but we're also going to be using the designer paper to fussy cut some of the adorable little images. So this is a piece I've chosen to use to cut out today. Isn't that cute? I just love the scenery and all the little fun things. And then just to show you some of the other pattern options here, there's the back of that paper. So I'm gonna grab my snips, and I noticed when I was getting ready for the video tonight that my snips are covered in adhesive. So I just wanna show you guys a little tip of what I've been doing to keep my snips, and to be honest, my work surfaces, my trimmer, anything that gets adhesive chunks on it, these are so handy. They're little alcohol swabs. I don't know. It says it expires in 2023. I've had them for a long time, as you can see. I bought a big box, but they don't expire for what I'm needing them for. So we're just going to open it, and you just wipe this off, and it takes all that pesky adhesive right off of your scissors. So there's a little tip for you for tonight. If it's not new to you, then that's great. If it is new, then you're gonna have to give it a whirl because it works really awesome and you get all that adhesive. So there we go. I could have done that ahead of time, but I wanted to show you guys that little tip just in case you hadn't heard it before. So let's go ahead. We're going to start on the front, and I want this sweet little guy here on the front of my card. Okay, so we're going to cut this little snail out. So Glenda says she loves the whole suite, so I'm going to guess she's purchased the whole suite. So tell me, Glenda, do the dies cut out the little guys here in the designer paper? Like, would I be able to cut this guy out? Probably not, because he's holding this what do you call this? Dandelion or whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm just going to cut him out. Now it does take a bit to fussy cut these guys, but oh my gosh, it is so worth it. They are just so adorable. Cute little bugs. And perfect for spring. Like, spring eventually will come. I know I was talking to my mom back home in BC, and they don't even have snow. They have not even had snow. They had snow one day. I think so, she said one day, and then it rained and it all went away. So you could pretend it's spring there, but here it is definitely not spring. Okay, so we're just gonna cut these out. You can get as fussy as you want with your cutting. I'm just gonna go kind of like this. And this guy here. Sweet little snail. He's so adorable. Okay, so there's our snail for that one. 75 in San Diego. Well, I wish I was there because it is not 75 here. Okay, there's our little guy, and he's going to go on the circle. So we're going to want some bumpets here. So go ahead and put some bumpets on the back of your little guy that you cut out, or however you're going to do this. Of course, if you don't have this paper, you can find something in your stash that would work as well. You could do this really beautifully with flowers too. We all seem to usually have flower paper, right? Okay. So this guy is going to go on our circle. Okay, so let's put him off to the side there. And then for the inside, I want to cut, oh, I've done something completely different. This is not what I had in my sample, but we're going to make it work. We're going to figure this out. So I'm going to take this little bee here. We're going to cut him out. We're going to cut out this little guy, this little butterfly. Okay, so these ones will take just a sec. So tell me, you guys, do you like fussy cutting? I heard when I was doing lots of in-person classes, I would have a very mixed review. Sometimes when I said, okay, we're going to fussy cut this, I'd have a lot of grumbling, but then I have people who didn't like it. And now some of the ones who were grumbling don't mind fussy cutting now. So I'm curious what you think about fussy cutting, or do you only cut out what dies will do for you? Let me know. I'd love to know all the difference, how we all different. Oh my gosh, how we all craft differently. I find a lot of stress relief in fussy cutting because I just focus on that. So I quite enjoy it. And you get these cute little critters that you wouldn't get otherwise. Okay. So we're going to cut this little guy out too. We're going to make this into a birthday card. So this is perfect. This little bee holding the birthday balloon. Oh, I see the comments just to come, and let me come back and I'll have a look. If you're catching the replay, welcome, and let me know in the comments then too if you love to fussy cut or not. I know a lot of people think, oh, they should have a die for everything. Can you imagine if they did that? Oh my gosh, how would we keep track? How would we keep track of all those dies if they did that? Okay. Ooh, almost done, almost done. See what I did there? I tried to turn my scissors and not my paper. That doesn't go well. Glenda loves it. Awesome. Jennifer didn't try until I talked about it. Oh my gosh, I love to fussy cut. I'm so glad I introduced you to it. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. Yes, I forgot to send out my reminder. It's been kind of a crazy week here with work and stuff, but I forgot to send the reminder, and then I thought, oh well, I will post. Hopefully everybody comes and finds me. So thank you for popping in. Hey, we're going to cut this out. Now, this is kind of silly because the one I used in my actual sample was a better fit, I think, but this one will work too. It's just we're going to lose part of this image. And sorry to say, but that music note is going bye-bye because I'm not fussy cutting around that tonight. Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay. I was getting a little dizzy there, spinning the paper like that. So if you're just joining us live now, or you missed the beginning, I was saying that I am live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that every first Thursday is technique night, and then we have the second Thursday is sketch night. The third is going to be fun fold, which is tonight, and then I'm trying to figure out what to do for that fourth Thursday. So leave me a comment if you have any ideas, stuff you'd like to see. I'm very, very tempted to add in another sketch because it's my favorite. I love, 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 love creating from sketches. I've thought about doing scrapbook sketches because that would be fun. I do love to scrapbook. But let me know when you're in the comments, whether you're here live with me tonight or watching the replay, what you would like to see. I know I did have one lady reach out to me and she said she liked it when I used to do the same materials, 2 different cards. So everything the same except we'd switch out the stamp or we'd switch out colors or something. But okay, we're just about done this, you guys, and then we'll get to the creating. All right, there we go. I'm not gonna get rid of these because they're so pretty. I might want to use them for something. Maria doesn't mind fussy cutting. Sonia, if you don't have a choice, you'll do it. Well, you know, there's that too, right? We do what we gotta do. Okay, so now we have all these little bits. We're gonna make this super cute card. Michelle, we're making an Accordion Z Fold card. So it's going to be very cute. All right, let's do the inside first. So I'm gonna grab some basic gray ink. It's gonna tie in nicely with these little bugs. And then from the branching out, remember I said we're going to be using branching out. It is retired, but you can use any sentiments you have in your stash. We're going to be using this happy birthday wishes, happiest birthday wishes right there for the inside. So I'm just going to grab that. We're going to use our basic gray. And I'm just going to stamp this down here in the corner, near the corner. Now, I know a lot of people think the sentiment should be right up in the center, but I'm telling you, there's no right way, right? Hello, Melissa. So there's no right way. There's no wrong way. It's you do what you want. And I think it's going to look really appealing down here in the corner. So we're going to take that and then we're going to put this little guy kind of like this. Now, the reason I stamped that first was I wanted to make sure it was going to fit because as you can see, this guy is quite large. So then we're going to take and put some adhesive on him. I'm really wishing, I'm going to just grab my, pretty soon, I'm going to grab my green glue because truth be told, that's my favorite. I do try and use the snail or seal as well, but I really do love the green glue the best. So we're going to grab that to carry on. Okay, now that that's glued, we're going to turn this over and we're just going to snip this off. So see, I could have saved myself some fussy cutting, but that's okay. How cute is this? Like, isn't that the most cute inside of a card? So we can go ahead now and we can adhere that to the inside onto our soft sea foam. Okay. Just like this. Okay, so that's the inside of our card. Oh my gosh, you guys, so cute. All right, now let's take this other little card, and what we're gonna do now, the next thing we're gonna do before we decorate this all up is we're going to attach this to make our fold. So this is gonna get attached on here, okay? Now you're gonna see these fun little bugs down here, which I think is super cute. So what you wanna do is open up your card like this, and then I would suggest something like tear tape, which I did grab. What did I do with it? Tear tape would be the best. If you don't have tear tape, you could use, where have I put it? Oh, here it is. Hi, Tracy. No worries, better late than never. We're just getting near the end of the first card, but we're gonna remake another one using some retired product after this. So you haven't missed much. You can catch up in the replay if you like, but welcome. Okay, so we've got our tear tape in here, and I always just like to kind of give it a, I don't know what you want to call it, like a burnish to make sure it's going to stick down there nice. And then we're going to grab a pokey tool, or if you have the take your pick tool. Ooh, glue attached to that. We're just going to peel that off. Okay, so what you want to do here is you want to have the card, remember we want the hinge on the right hand side. We're going to close this accordion part, and we're just going to tuck it in to where we want it. So situate it however you want. It can be way at the top, down at the bottom, in the middle, wherever you want to put it. I'm going to kind of put it here. I like how you can see those little bugs below. Now we're going to make sure it's kind of straight, and then we're just going to give it pressure so that it sticks down. And then when we open it, here is our fun little fold. Can you see that? Isn't that super cute? Okay, so now that we have that, we can go ahead and continue decorating. So we can open it up. Now it won't lay flat because there's going to be extra, but it will fit in an envelope, and it's super cute. All right, we're going to grab some of this specialty rickrack. I love this ribbon, you guys. It is so soft. It's softer than you think it would be. Like it looks, I don't know, it's just so cute. So we're going to grab again a little piece of tear tape, and we're just going to strip it, stick it across most of this DSP. Okay, and then we can peel that off. Grab your rickrack and plop it on there. So it's just going to hold it straight. We're not tying a knot, we're not tying a bow, we're not doing anything. We're just using that for some texture on our card. So then you can go ahead and cut it. And I'll tell you, after you clean your snips, they suddenly feel a whole lot sharper too. Okay, so then we'll go ahead and we're going to cut this one. Just trim it off. I don't care if the end's fray. That doesn't bother me at all. So I can even just play around with them to make them fray. Then we're going to take that little snail that we cut out earlier, and we're going to stick him on there. So we're going to want to put dimensionals. Now, if you don't want to make it extra thick, then don't use the dimensionals. Just stick it down. Hi, Darlene. Nice to see you. Okay, so we're going to take this one and we're going to attach it on here. Like that. Okay, then we're going to open it up, and we're going to decorate this side too, because there's no room really to write on there. You could have left it blank if you wanted, but I'm going to take my circle, and I'm just going to grab my trimmer real quick here. And I'm just going to snip my circle. I don't care if it's exactly in half or partially in half. I just want to trim it. So let's just kind of go like this. I just want the edge to be straight, and I don't trust that I'm going to cut it straight with my scissors. So I've cut my little 2-inch circle. Oh, something just came flying off of my trimmer when I moved it. My scoring blade. I'll have to look for that later. Okay. So now we got these 2 partial circles, and we're going to stick one up at the top, and we're going to stick one at the bottom, just for something different to design. Now you could keep the circle in the center like I did on the front, but I like how this kind of just adds, oh, look at this glue. It's so excited to get out of there. Whew. Oh my, what is happening to my glue? I think it's because it's very warm in here. I had my heater on. So I've got a lot of glue, so I'm just going to share that glue with the other piece here. And then we're gonna have to doctor that glue bottle up. Ooh, look at it, it's so much glue, it's sliding everywhere. After I just finished telling you guys that I love my white glue, and look at the mess it's making for me. Jeepers. Okay, that's okay. So we're just going to push that up to the top of the thing. Now I was told before that if you open the bottom when it does this, kind of lets the air in, but I don't know. This is really going crazy. So I'm just going to grab a tissue. And we're going to clean that up before it ends up all over the place. Tell me I'm not alone. Tell me you guys have these mix-max with your glue adhesive as well. Okay, so now that we have our circles, now we're going to go ahead now and add our little critters that we attach. So you can put the butterfly and the little bee, or you can swap them around, however you want to do it. I am not going to put these on bumpets, as tempted as I am, because it's going to make it really clunky to fold, because we've already got layers here. So I'm just going to use a bit of this white glue that seems to be behaving itself now. And I think I'm going to put the little bee down here and the butterfly on the top. Like so. How cute is this? It is the best glue, Tracy. I agree. Okay, now we're going to do one more little sentiment. And I had a little white strip of cardstock somewhere. Where did it go? I may just cut another one because it's just going to be simpler than trying to find it in this mess I have. So there's my little strip of white. And then for the front, again, this is from Branching Out. I'm going to stamp on this little strip of white to a very special someone. Okay, so I'm going to use the same color. I'm using the basic gray. We're just going to stamp that on there. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and trim this. And it is going to go right below our snail, just like that. Like, how sweet is this? But we are going to, I didn't grab my mini bumpets, so I'm just going to use the edge of my dimensionals. I hope that you guys use every little ounce of your dimensional sheets, every little snippet and piece, because it works the same. You just have to cut it, right? I don't waste a single bit, because you guys know how much I love these little foam dimensionals. Okay. Okay. Now, this piece is going to go down here across the bottom of our snail. Oh my goodness. It is so adorable. I just absolutely love this paper. Okay, lastly, but not least, we're going to add some bling. So this suite comes with some really sweet little ladybug die or embellishments, but for this card I thought they were a bit too busy, so I'm just bringing in these Moody palette glossy dots because they are super cute and I love the way they look together. So I'm going to actually use the darker green to tie in with the ribbon on the front, and that is not the right tool, Denise. I'm going to end up putting it through my finger, so we're going to grab my take a pick tool and we're just going to kind of embellish the front little square here. And then we're going to make another card using the same pattern, but we're going to use the a little, what's it called? A little latte, or you guys will know as soon as I show you the paper. It's like one of the most awesome papers ever, especially for those of us who love coffee. I think we're going to need some little blings inside too. What do you guys think? Let's not be shy with the bling tonight. So we're going to put a green dot there, and then we'll put a couple more up here. Oh my gosh, I love it. I hope you guys love this card. It's so cute. So there is our first Accordion Z Fold card featuring the Cute as a Bug Designer Series paper. This one is current on Stampin' Up, so if you're falling in love with it, you can still grab it, but if not, you've got something in your stash that will work lovely just the same. So there you have it. There is our Cute as a Bug one. Now I did do slightly different on my original one. So here it is. I use this little crickets on top of the mushroom. And inside I had the dancing little bugs here. So again, you can switch them up and use all the little bits and pieces if you're using this paper. It all looks super cute together. All right, so now we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna move on to making another Z Fold, Accordion Z Fold, but this time we're gonna feature one of my very favorites of all time, the Latte Love Suite. Now this paper, what is it actually called? Does anybody remember? A Little Latte? Yes, I think the paper was A Little Latte and the bundle was Latte Love. So we're going to use just one stamp out of here. We're just going to use the thanks so much out of this set. But there are some dies we may or may not use. I think I'm just going to fussy cut because it's easier for me. But anyway, let's get started with this one. So if you missed the dimensions on the first one, I'll give them to you again. And again, they'll be on my blog on Sunday. So if you miss them or you don't have a pen to write them down, don't worry. I got you covered. Okay, so this time we're using Coastal Cabana. And we have 5.5 by 11, and you want it scored at 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and 7. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to fold these. Actually, you know what? This one we're going to do it differently. We're going to take these Designer Series paper strips that I've got cut. We're going to adhere them first, and then we're going to fold them. We're going to see if that's a little easier. So these strips here are 1.5 by 5 1/4. And again, they're from that Latte paper that I love. The back side looks like this. And I am wondering, see my sample one, I did it this way, but I wonder if we should try doing it this way. I love it. Let's do it. Let's switch it up. Let's make it that. I'll show you both and you guys can decide which one you like better. Okay, let's see. You gonna play nice still, glue? Looks like it's gonna play nicely. Okay, so let's go ahead. I just got to turn this paper so I can see where the score lines are. We're going to adhere these 4 pieces to the panels in between the score lines. And I hope it's going to turn out just as cute as the other one did, but I think it will. I think it will. So while you're watching me create the second card, I want you to think about the papers and stuff you have in your collection somewhere, something you've forgotten about maybe, or you've been itching to use, a paper that you have that you could use to recreate this card. So we're not doing a lot of stamping tonight, but you absolutely could do a lot of stamping and really decorate these. I've just chosen Designer Series paper that happens to have things to fussy cut, but you could by all means do lots of stamping on here as well. Okay, so now that those are adhered in place, we're going to do the accordion folding. So we're going to start with the big panel is the inside of the card at the back. So we're going to fold in and then back. And so just making that accordion, just like the title of the card, fold. And there we go. Isn't that a pretty combo? Oh my gosh, I really am loving the look of these. Okay, thanks Paula. Okay, so there we have that. Now we're going to take our other piece. So this is the other piece we need for our fold. And this one is 3 inches by 6 and it's scored in the middle at 3 inches. So we'll go ahead and fold that. We need the hinge on the right hand side. And then we're going to have some some cardstock that we're going to adhere the next layer. So I'm going to pair this with some pecan pie. These ones are 2 3/4 square. Okay. So this one can go on here. Thank you guys so much for showing up and spending some of your Thursday evening with me. I hope that you leave feeling inspired and a little lighter than when you showed up today. Hopefully this is a fun little session for you that we can just hang out and be crafty. Okay, so here's our pecan pie. We're going to put this on here. Okay, let's get that all nice and glued down. That is not very straight. Maybe we still got some wiggle room left in this glue. Oof. Okay, There, maybe that's small. It's not as bad as crooked as it was, but it's better than it was. Hi, Tina. All right, so now that we have that, we're gonna set those two pieces aside. Actually, let's do the inside. So I've got a panel of pecan pie, and this one measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So it's not the standard size of a normal card that you would make, but it does fit in an envelope. So you're good to go. Make them till your heart's content, and you'll have the envelopes to go with them. So we're gonna stick this inside here. Okay. Now, there's that. So then what I've got here is some of these little coffee cups. Now there is a die. Why don't we try and use the die? The only thing is then it jiggles the whole desk. But anyway, these dies are amazing. I hope that if you have them, you love them as much as I do. So I'm gonna bring in my little boss here, and we'll fussy cut these out real quick. Or not fussy cut, sorry, I'm so used to fussy cutting. See, I normally I would just fussy cut these, but let's do this for the video. You guys already watched me cut out all those teeny tiny little bugs. So let's speed it up just a wee bit, and we'll put it through the machine. Okay, so we have one. My Post-it tape doesn't want to let go here. There we go. Okay, there's one. And we have two. I gotta say, you guys, I am finding so much enjoyment and so much joy in pulling these other retired supplies out of my stash and sharing them with you, because I bought them because I love them and I want to just keep using them. So I hope that you guys are enjoying it too, and maybe I'm inspiring you to go back into your stash and look for things that you haven't used in a while. Okay, let's do this other one over here. We've got one more little Coastal Cabana cup. In doing this, I'm thinking about all the stamp sets that I have previously gotten rid of. Like, you know, I've had retired sales and all that stuff, and I'm thinking, oh, if I had that, I could do this, and you know how it goes. But we can't look back, we can only look forward. And so now I'm like, I'm not getting rid of any, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so we have this, and then I had a partial little guy here somewhere. He's probably underneath my boss. Let's see, there's that. And little partial one. We had one somewhere. Huh, what did I do with it? It was just here. I know it was. I saw it. Am I looking right at it and I just don't even see it? Huh. Well, isn't this the craziest thing? Okay, well, if you guys are seeing it and I'm just not, because we know how that can happen, right? I do have a bit of a crafter math here. I am going, oh, look at this pesky little thing. I think it slipped into my machine. Can you see this? I don't know if you guys can see. Can you see what's happening here? My machine is eating this piece of paper. Let me just pull that out of there. Huh. How even did that happen? If only I had my tweezers handy. Okay, well, that's what happens in real-time crafting. So if you ever miss a piece of paper, check your boss. Maybe it's taken it. Okay, I'm not going to bother with him because it probably will just rip this. So I was going to just fussy cut this partial cup as well, but we're just going to fussy cut it so that doesn't happen again. That's the funniest thing. Oh my goodness, you guys. That's never happened to me before. Has that happened to you? Holy. The things that happen, hey? You just never know what's going to happen when you go live. All right. So now we have our stuff all figure it out here. We've got all these little cups cut out. We've got our open card here. We've got our, this is going to be a sentiment piece. We'll get to that later. So I've got my 2 little squares that are going to get layered onto here, and they're 2.5 inches square. And this is our inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate the squares here with these coffee cups. And this makes some super easy decorating. So let's go ahead and put this one. I'm intentionally hanging it off the edge. You'll see why. Okay, and then, oh, wiggle room, wiggle room. Give me some wiggle room. There we go. We want this a little different. I want to have 2 cups on here. So I want to have that handle up there. And then this one I kind of want to have like that. So I'm not going to put glue on the whole thing. Just on that section. This coffee can kind of go like that. Okay. On this one here, I'm going to use a, yes, I like that one. With, isn't that fun? I wish I could do that with my coffee. It would make a morning so much, so happy. Okay. And then we're going to stick this one kind of like that. And then we're going to take this. So this one was, I want to tell you guys this little tip. I do this often. This was the edge of the designer paper. And rather than thinking this is no good, I cut it out the way it was, left this flat edge because we can just do this. And now it looks like we intended for it to be cut off the edge, right? So there's a little tip. I'm sure you've heard me say it before, but if you're new to my channel, I like to share these little wisdoms with you every once in a while. Okay. So I always believe the paper's so pretty, don't waste any of it. Use as much as you can. Okay, so I've just got that lined up right along the edge. So let's go ahead. We can attach this one now to the inside of our card. Ooh, flying glue. I'm having glue issues tonight, aren't I? Okay, let's stick that down there. There we go. Okay, that's the inside of our card. When it's all closed up, we see that cute little cup hanging out there. Now on here, what we're going to do is we're going to take these cups, we're going to turn it over, and we're just going to chop these off. Now, you could take and save these bits for the exact same reason I just shared when we did this one. You could use these cups and make a second card. Ooh, don't cut that way, Denise. I'm like liable to cut right into the cardstock. And you could use these little bits you're cutting off onto the second card instead of having to do the same thing again. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to attach these. This is the one I want on the front. So remember, hinge is going on the right hand side. So we will put this in here. We're not done. We're going to do something fun on here. Other little tip that I like to do when the paper just seems like it needs a little something, but you don't know what it needs. This is a little tip I like to use. Okay. Like that. Go ahead and glue this one on. I think I want this along the bottom. Okay. All right, so now when I look at this, my eye is telling me it needs a little something something. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it nice and easy. And I did just have, I know I did. It probably rolled on the floor when I was looking for my, oh, there it is right here underneath. Okay, so Stampin' Write marker. If you don't have these, they are now retired. But if you don't have these, you could use a blend pen. You could use any kind of marker you have. So this one, I like this because it coordinates with the paper I've used. And I love the size of the tip for what we're going to do. So we're just going to open the smaller end. And I am just going to go ahead and make a little dot border. Okay, no stress. Don't think about it, just do it. That's my motto, because if you think about it, then you start thinking, oh, is it straight? Are they evenly spaced? Da, 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 da. It doesn't matter. Nobody's measuring them little dots. Nobody's going to even notice. It's just going to make it feel a little more complete, in my opinion. So we're just making these little dots all the way around, skipping over the coffee cups, and I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I think it just gives it kind of like a little finished edge. It's so fun to just be free and just do this, like not think about it. You know, sometimes we get so wrapped up in our own minds about thinking everything has to be just perfect. Okay, now what do you think? Doesn't that finish that off beautifully? And it took me like less than a minute to do it. So I really like that little tip. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna open this card up, flip it over, and we're gonna put this tear tape along the edges. Hi, Carol from New Brunswick. Better late than never, I always say. Welcome to our video tonight. We are making some fun Accordion Z Fold cards, and I'll share with you what you've missed at the end, so don't go away. And if you want to come back and see it, the replay will be available, of course. Okay, so we're going to take that off. Okay, so remember what we did on the other one? You want the hinge on the right. Okay, we want the front on the front, of course. So we're going to close this up, and then we're going to stick this in here. We're going to find where we want to put it and make sure it's straightish. Okay, and then we're just going to give that some pressure so that it stays down. And now we have that fun accordion fold. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of these little polka dots that we did. Do you like that idea? Do you hand draw sometimes on your cards? I know last week when we did the sketch and I hand wrote inside one of the cards. So it's fun to just let yourself do those things. Hello, Nicole from Australia. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us and good morning to you. Okay, on with our stamping. I'm going to use Early Espresso for this one. And we're going to use Thanks So Much from our Latte Love. So remember, we're pulling out one of the goodies from our retired stash here. And I'm just going to stamp this onto my paper. Now, this is a really big piece of crumb cake. It's just happened to be the scrap that was closest to me. Okay, and then we're going to open up our, I think this is called a triple banner punch. I'm not sure, but this is the punch. It's fairly new to Stampin' Up, but I love banners, so of course I had to get this one. So we're going to pop that right into here, into that middle banner, and we're going to pop it out. Oof. Okay, and then this is going to go, oh, look at that. I got adhesive. That's okay. That's why we have adhesive removers, right? I'm just going to grab my little adhesive remover here. Get rid of that pesky glue. Just like that. If you guys don't have one of these, you need one in your collection. It is a lifesaver. All right, then we're going to take some bumpets. You guys are probably thinking, oh my gosh, Denise made a card with no bumpets. Haha, I tricked you. I did not. We're going to add them now. So here we're going to add that one. And then this one. And I think actually we're going to put a third one in the center just so that it doesn't sag. Okay, so Gail was asking if you're going to require extra postage. I don't think so, but you know what? We can check. We can check this. So I'm going to put this, you're going to want to put your thank you wherever you think it's going to not cover the coffee cups as much, wherever you want to put it. I think we're going to put it down here. Like that. And there we have it. It's done. I could add bling if I wanted, but I just like the simplicity of this card. And I love the theme, of course, because I do love coffee. But there you have it. There's our fun little Latte Love accordion fun fold with some little dots we've done here. And my original, I told you we used the opposite side. There's my original. So which one do you guys think you like better? Which pattern? It's so fun. This fun fold is so much fun. So there is our Latte Love one, and then here is our fun little cute as a bug version we made tonight. So same fold, everything's the same size. We just switched it out using supplies we have on hand. So I hope that this encourages you to break into your stash, look through it a little bit more, and see what you guys can come up with. Thank you guys. Look at all these wonderful comments. Thank you so much for showing up tonight and being here with me to stamp. If you're catching the replay, thank you for watching. Leave me a comment. I love to know who's watching. So the measurements and replay and some photos and all the things will be on my blog post Sunday morning. So you can check that out, createwithbirdsnest.ca, as you see on the screen. That's where you'll find all the things. So go on there. And then here's a card I made. This one we didn't obviously make tonight, but I had made another sample using the sweet little Easter bunnies in pink, of course. So there's another variety of this type of card. So it's a super fun one to make. And I'm just going to grab my little board, Gail, while you're still here, hopefully with me live. I do have this little board my friend at the post office gave me. So let's see if one of these guys is going to fit on through here. So here's the slot we need to go through, and look at that. It does not. If you didn't put any dimensionals, it would go through. But with that dimensional, no, it's not going to go through. So this one would require extra postage if you're sending these ones in the mail. So be aware of that when you make them. That here in Canada anyway, in other parts of the world, you probably could get away with it. We have a very picky postal system here. So there you have it. I'm going to pop back onto the screen. If I can find the right button. There it is. Okay, so thank you guys again so much for being here. I hope that you're feeling a little bit inspired to give this fun fold a whirl. Give it a try, bust open your stash, find something in there, and if you do, I would love to see what you're making. You can share it here. Actually, you can share it with me over on my Facebook page, Birdsnest Designs on Facebook. I would love to see. If you don't have Facebook, send me an email. My email, if you're on my email list, respond to one of those. Show me what you're making. I love to see that, and I love to hear from you. And I wanted to put a little shout out right now to all of the people who have emailed me recently. It's been a very enlightening week. I got so many heartfelt messages from so many of you who watch me, and it truly does make my day. It just reminds me about why I do what I do. And so thank you to everybody who's emailed me this past week. It's been wonderful to read them all. And if I haven't heard from you yet, I'd love to hear from you. So thanks everybody. I hope that you enjoy these cards. Let me know which one was your favorite. And I will be back next Thursday with a surprise, because I still don't know what theme is going to be on the fourth Thursday. But I'll have something great to share with you guys. Don't worry. All right. Have a fabulous evening, a great weekend, and we will see you again next week.